everyone, today we're going to be doing two looks with the Kaleidos Futurism 5 Electro-Turquoise palette. This is what it looks like. This palette is not available yet because I was so blessed to get sent this in PR along with their neon palette. If you haven't seen the video that I made with the neon palette, I will link that up in the corner, but I've already done two looks and a review on this. Here's what this one looks like. These palettes are just so beautiful. I can't wait to play more with this turquoise one because it's so pretty. So these are going to be available on August 13th, so if you were interested in getting these, that's when you'll be able to buy them. They are going to be limited edition as far as I know. Who knows, maybe they'll end up being permanent, but as of right now they're going to be limited edition. So if you've been wanting these and you've seen a lot of videos with these, might want to buy them on launch day. If not, you might miss out, but so far I'm really impressed with both of these. I can't wait to play more with this one. So I think for today's look I want to mainly focus on the orange and brown here, which I know it's kind of shocking because I don't really usually go for colors like that, but the thing about this palette is that the mattes in this are a little bit tricky to get to work together because orange is a complementary color to kind of green and blue, so if you mix those two colors in together it's going to end up getting a bit muddy, so you don't really want to be mixing this orange in with any other mattes than the brown. That's just kind of like color theory for you. But I've already primed my eyes with my Smashbox lip primer. I've been absolutely loving this. I'm just kind of obsessed, not gonna lie. So we're just gonna get straight into this. So I think what I'm gonna start off with is first start off by taking this orange and I'm going to build up my crease with this. Now sometimes I'll go darkest to lightest, other times I'll go lightest to darkest, and I've found that these palettes or this formula in general just performs really well, honestly, both ways, and that you can easily go in and deepen things up just to, you know, make it a little bit easier. Sometimes it's easier to go from light to dark than it is to go from dark to light. It really just depends on, like, you know, your application techniques and how often you do one way or the other. For me, like, both ways are pretty easy, but I know that a lot of people like to just prefer to go lightest to darkest because, like, that's what we've been taught for so long, and it's just what everyone seems to do in their videos. So I just thought I would try this today, and I obviously didn't set my eyeshadow primer this time, which I did in my first impression with this palette, because I found that in the first Futurism collections that the shadows were a little bit easier to blend when you did that, but I've noticed with these new ones that I don't know if it's because the colors are just more vibrant and they're just a little bit different in formula, that they just perform a little bit better if you don't set your primer, which I'm not really surprised by because, like I said, I usually don't set my primer at all, so not at all surprised that these shadows are just popping a little bit more when I don't set my primer. So this is probably not going to be a very complicated look, so I'm just going to go ahead and build up my crease with this orange on this side as well. And then I'm going to go into the dark brown here, and I'm really excited to see how this performs because I know that, I mean, all of the other browns in the other palettes have performed really well, and since this one is really dark, I think it's going to be awesome to deepen up looks with. And this looks to be very much like a cool tone brown, and I really like that. I think this is going to be a beautiful deepening shade with those blue shadows too. I mean, that's actually like quite a nice brown. So I'm first just patting it on my outer corner, and then I'm going to run this through my crease. Just very gently here. I'm keeping this lower down in my crease, of course, so that the orange is still going to show up when I'm done blending this out. But I am okay with this becoming more of a kind of dark look. I think I am going to do a bit of a pop of blue on the lid, and then I'm going to do, I think I'm probably going to do both of the shimmers on my lid, honestly, because they're just so pretty and I just want to use them. I also think I'm going to do a half cut crease today, which I feel like I haven't really done in a while. So I think this is blending out and packing on really, really nicely. So now that I have the dark brown down, I'm gonna go back in with the orange just a tiny bit and just run that right above where I blended these two colors together, just to make sure that the orange is nice and vibrant and that the gradient is the way that I want it to be. And I really feel like Kaleidos' mattes are some of the easiest mattes to work with. They just blend so nicely. So I think I'm also going to pull some of this brown down to my lower lash line, just about like halfway across, or maybe I want to go in with a blue. Maybe I do want to go in with a blue. Maybe I don't want to do like kind of a neutral look today. Not that I was going to do a neutral look, but Actually, let's just finish up the rest of the lid before I do anything else. I don't want to make any hasty decisions here. I want to just kind of see how this is going to end up looking. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease real quick. And again, I'm going to change my mind because I'm just going to do a cut crease, sort of like a cut crease, using some glitter glue, because what's the point of doing a cut crease if I'm going to go in with glitter glue again on top of that anyway? And I kind of want to use glitter glue with these shades because they are so glittery, and I found that this new kind of glitter formula just performs a little bit better if you use glitter glue, because you're not going to end up with like glitter specks all over your face. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Too Faced glitter glue that I just have on the back of my hand here. And I'm going to do one eye at a time, and I'm just going to use this as if I'm doing a half cut crease and just kind of map out where I want the shadow to be. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into the darkest of the shimmer shades here, which is this kind of duochromy yellow, blue, turquoise kind of thing. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the middle of my lid here to start off. Oh, that is just such a beautiful shadow. I cannot get over the shimmers from Kaleidos. Like, do you see the shift in this? See, I guess this is why I wanted to do a bit of a cut crease, because these are kind of more, not topper shades, but they're not as opaque. They don't have as strong of a base color as some other shimmers that I have from them. But I mean, that is just, oh, it's so pretty. Wow. So I think I am going to go ahead and just take this all the way in, and then I'm going to go in with probably a bit of that other shimmer and just layer that on top of this. But like, can we just take a moment and look at this shimmer? Oh, so pretty. And I just realized that I just became like the most basic beauty girl with a warm crease and a blue lid, and now I kind of feel stupid because I don't want to be a basic beauty girl. So we're definitely going to spice this up. I am going to go in with just a little bit more of that orange just on this eye, because I felt like I just didn't blend as good as I did on the other eye. And also just want to bring back this color a bit more. Taking a little bit more of that brown as well. And then just tapping over the edges again with that shimmer. And so just to keep this from being like your basic beauty girl look, I'm going to go in with this dark teal shade here. And I'm going to smoke that out on my lower lash line. Just taking this on a small kind of smudging brush from Luxy. And I'm just trying to sort of blend this into the brown on the outer corner here. I really don't want it to touch the orange too much, but I'm gonna try to make sure that the blend on the outer corner or the outer part is looking okay at least. And then I'm just gonna take a bit of a fluffier brush here and just kind of buff this out even more. And again, just like in my first impression, I feel like I could have done this look with the Subculture palette or something like very, very close to it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the tones in this just don't come off the same on the eyes as they do in the pan, because I don't know if it's like the background that's sort of throwing it off, but I get major Subculture vibes from this palette. I mean, maybe the shimmers are like more special. I mean, they definitely are more special, but just like the mattes, the way that they blend together and stuff, I'm definitely getting Subculture vibes. So just to finish off, I'm going to take this light shimmer right here, and I'm going to pop that into my inner corner. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of glitter glue and put in here before I go in with the shadow, because the shadow is extremely glittery. And I just don't want any of that to get into my eye, because my eye is very sensitive and it starts watering really quickly. So I'm just going to try to prevent that. And then I'm going to go in with the shadow and basically just pop that right on top. That was such a fail. Let me go ahead and take another brush and do that again. So I think this is going to be the final eyeshadow look. I just can't get over how beautiful those shimmers are. I mean, they really are everything. I might try to go in and blend just a little bit more right here. I don't know. I feel like my blend is just not that good on that eye, which, to be fair, it's my bad eye. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and finish up and try to kind of finesse this a little bit. And then I'm going to pop a Punch by Colourpop, my waterline, which is just a yellow. I think that's going to look really nice with this. And then I'll put on a lipstick and, you know, I'll come back and show you the completed look and we'll talk a little bit more. So here is the completed look. I am feeling quite glam today, and all I'm doing is going out for lunch with a friend, so I don't know, there's that. So for lips, I used Another Round by Colourpop as a lip liner, obviously, and then I used a gloss on top, and this is Sorbet Pop by Clinique. And not sure if I love this lip combo with this look, but I wanted something neutral because, like I said, I'm going out, so I don't want to have to fuss with my lipstick and stuff, and I want something that's easy to apply, so, or reapply, I should say. So that's where we ended up. I really like this eye look though. I think this came out really beautiful. Is it something that I would normally reach for? Probably not, because it's a little bit on the neutral side for me. This actually reminds me a lot of a look that I did with the Alter Ego Goddess palette. I feel like I did a look that was very similar to this, and you could probably do that with that palette, to be honest, but I really like this. I think this came out really beautiful. I mean, the shimmers in this palette are just so good, so good. So that's going to be it for look number 1. I will see you a little bit for look number 2, and I'll try to do something a bit more on like the blue side and not as neutral. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so it is time for the second look with this palette. I've been staring at this now for probably 15 minutes, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what I want to do with this. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start, and we'll just, you know, see what happens. So I'm first going to go in with this very light blue shade, and I'm going to put that into my crease. Like I said, I have no plan. We're just going to see what happens. And I think I want this to be not a soft look. I'm going to totally take that back. I don't know why I even said that, but I do want this to be more of a kind of blue look rather than, you know, the kind of neutral crease that I did yesterday in the look that you just saw. So I definitely want this to be like more on the bright, colorful side and not like super dark and grungy like I feel like the first look was. So I feel like I planned this video very badly time-wise, because when I'm filming this, it's currently the 12th and these palettes are launching on the 13th. And this morning I just put up a video with the neon palette on the 12th, and now I'm like, well, I should probably put this video up on the 12th as well so that they're both up before they launch. So yeah, I'll be busy today. So when you're seeing this, it's, you know, the same day as I'm filming and uploading this. So yeah, I'm just excited. I want to be able to get these videos up for you guys like before the palettes launch, obviously, because I don't know if they're going to sell out right away. They very well might, so I just want to make sure that you guys can see, you know, what both of these palettes are like before they actually launch. And I feel like that's why they sent these to me in PR, so that I can make videos with them before they launch, you know? Because I feel like the first video that I did using both of them, it wasn't a review, you know? Like, and I want to be able to get you my final thoughts on these palettes before they do go for sale. So I mean, the shadow laid down absolutely beautifully. I don't know what I want to do next, so I'm probably going to stare at this palette now for like another 10 minutes and figure out what it is that I want to do. Actually, I think I just want to make this like a very simple look, so I'm gonna next go into the darkest of the kind of green tealy shades here. I don't know why I keep calling it green. It's a teal, so it's a blue. It's a blue-green, but it's mostly a blue, so it's like a blue teal. I think it's a blue teal. We're just gonna call it that. Gonna take my Sigma E42 brush that I've just been absolutely loving, and I'm going to put this in the outer corner of my eye, and I'm also going to bring this through my crease a bit, and then I think for the rest of my lid, I'm just gonna go in with that very light shimmer, and I might have to do a half-cut crease with that, but let's just put this color down, and then I'll decide after what it is that I want to do. I'm also going to go ahead and basically do the same thing underneath my eye. I'm not going to prime under my eyes just because I'm lazy today and I just don't feel like doing that. So I'm first just going to go in with that light shade. Not expecting these to be probably as popping as they could be if I went in with some primer, but like I said, I'm just being lazy, and so whatever happens down here is completely my fault, and the colors should not be judged if they don't show up as much as they could. But I mean, this is still laying down really nicely, so maybe you don't even need to put an eyeshadow primer down with this color right here. I mean, that's really, really nice. I'm also just going to take a bit of that darker blue or darker teal, I think we decided on calling this, and I'm going to run that underneath my eye, just deepen this up a little bit too. I will say that this color right here is not the most buildable color. I do feel like it's taken a lot of building up to really get it to be nice and opaque and stick to my eye in all the right places, so maybe this is the kind of color that you want to go darkest to lightest with instead of lightest to darkest. Not something that really bothers me, but I'm just noticing that it's not building as well as, say, the dark brown was. So I think just like in my first look when I said I was going to cut my crease and then I dropped something again, I ended up using glitter glue instead. I'm just going to go ahead and basically do the same that I did in the first look. So these looks are going to be like technically pretty much the same, but I mean, that's okay. Sometimes that's just what I want to do, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna take my Too Faced glitter glue here, and I'm just going to pretend like I'm doing a bit of a cut crease with the glue. And then with the same brush, I'm just gonna dip into this lightest of the shimmer shades here. I definitely feel like I may have been better off doing a cut crease because this is more of a topper shade, it seems like, but I think it's going to be opaque enough that I'm not going to regret having it done this way. I just need to, you know, put on some extra color here to make sure it's as intense as I want it to be, or as opaque as I want it to be, I should say. But this is such a beautiful I can't get over the sparkliness of these shimmers. I just think that this is such a fun formula. So I might have to go in with just a tiny bit of that other blue, just like in the transition between the shadow and my outer corner, or maybe not. We'll see if I'm able to get like a good gradient here. I would like to just keep it like this, and I think it'll be okay. I mean, I think that looks pretty, wow, that looks really good. I was gonna say I think that looks pretty good, but honestly that looks amazing. Oh, I just freaking love this shimmer formula. It's so good. So I'm gonna do the same on the other eye, and then I think for my lower lash line here, I'm actually gonna go in with that darker shimmer and maybe put a pop of like a darker color down there, because that's not something I do very often, so maybe that could be fun. So I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is right now because that looks really good. So like I said, I'm gonna go into this other shimmer right here. I'm not gonna use either the orange or the brown in this look. I just want this look to be very, very simple. And I'm just gonna spray this. I'm not gonna put any glitter glue on my lower lash line. And I'm just gonna pop that basically right here. Okay, I'm quite obsessed with this. I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is right now. Maybe I'll go in with a little bit more of that dark matte that I use in the outer corner and just make sure that the blend between the shimmer and the matte here is looking okay. And I think that's it. So for my waterline, I'm gonna use one of my NYX Faux Whites. This is in Mint Cream. I feel like this is going to look really nice. So it's basically like a pastel-y mint. So I'm gonna pop that in my waterline. I'm going to do some liner mascara and then find some kind of a lipstick that I feel like is going to look good with this. I feel like maybe I'll use something that matches my hair. Maybe that would be nice. I don't know yet. So you'll see when I'm back. So I'll be back shortly. So here is the final look, and I decided to go with a bit more of like a pinky nude sort of look. So for my lipstick, or my lip choices I should say, I'm using the ColourPop liner in Oh Snap, and then on top of that I'm wearing one of my super old Dior glosses. Oh my god, this is so old. This is probably like 8 years old. I don't even want to admit how old this is, but I'm still using it. It's still fine. I don't know what shade this is. It just says 363, so whatever that means, it's the shade 363. So that is going to be my two looks with the Kaleidos Turquoise palette. So as for my thoughts on this palette, I think that the quality of these palettes are just amazing. I mean, I wouldn't be able to dupe this with anything in my collection, at least these two shimmers. This new shimmer formula is everything. I can't say that enough. I absolutely love it. You need to use glitter glue with it though, because otherwise you're gonna have glitter all over your face. But if you have glitter glue, you're gonna absolutely love these. I mean, this brown matte right here is one of the best brown mattes that I think I've ever tried. Now, take this with a grain of salt because I haven't tried out a lot of very dark browns, so I mean, that doesn't really mean a lot coming from me, but I still really like this. This orange is absolutely beautiful. I think all of these shades are just, they're so good individually, but the color story of this is so unique and not something that I think I've ever seen before. And I feel like a lot of brands are not scared to come up with something that's a bit challenging to work with and that's has a big chance of getting muddy if you don't know a lot about color theory. And I feel like this palette right here is hard to work with if you don't know a lot about color theory, because mixing some of these mattes in together is just not going to be a good idea. So it's definitely going to be some trial and error. And I do feel like this palette is a bit more limiting in what kind of looks you can do with it, just because the fact that the mattes are a little bit iffy to work with together. but I just think that it takes a lot of guts to come out with a palette like this, because I think this is a palette that a lot of people might struggle with in the beginning before they figure out like how this really works. So I don't know, I just have so much respect for Kaleidos as a brand for just being able to kind of push the limits a little bit and try new things and do something that's not already on the market and like play it safe, because this is nothing but safe. I mean, who else has come out with, you know, something like these two palettes lately? I mean, that's a huge risk to take, and I think that they're doing everything right in every way, really, when it comes to formulas, it comes to marketing, it comes to just the way that they run their brand. I think they're doing a really good job so far, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future. So that's going to be my review on this palette. I mean, obviously I love both of these palettes, and so these are going to be available, but if you see this the day this video goes up, tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST. So yeah, just keep an eye on their website if you're willing to get these. Like I said in my other video with the neon palette, these are limited edition, at least, you know, that's what they've said, but who knows, it might change, it might not change. So if you want to get these, you might want to jump on it as fast as you can. So yeah, that's going to sum up today's video. If you want to see some other videos that I made on Kaleidos makeup, I'll pop some up on the screen because I have a lot of them. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.